It's your boy Sid, and welcome to Speak Your Mind All the Time Talk Show, man. Guys, I'm not even gonna introduce who I have. I'm just gonna drop them in here. We're just gonna get the show started. So let's get them in here. Listen, as you see, I got Flo Cowboys. I got
Yo,
Jay Tuck up in the building. We're gonna have Nick's jumping in shortly. Listen, guys, let's just get into it. Guys, introduce yourselves. I'm gonna start with you, Flo. Let them know where to find you, man.
yes, sir. It's John from Flo Cowboys, man. Follow us on every social media platform. Hey, 10 more subscribers to 100, man. Come check us out. Get us those subscribers.
100%, man. We're definitely going to get you to 100 by tonight. Don't worry about it. Jay Tuck, man, let them know where to find you, man.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Tuck, man. You can follow me on Twitter, of course, at JTuck151, and then, of course, my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Hey, what's up, John? My boy John's knolled up, man, today. That's why
You
I
already
like
know the vibe, man.
Yeah.
You know the vibes. We want the Knowles on the team, bro.
Reminds me of myself in Chicago back in 2016.
Guys, please go sub up to their channels. All their information is in the description below. I already added Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channels it's all there in the description. Just click and definitely go follow these guys, please. So, guys, draft day 2 days away.
2 days.
2 days away. But before we get into draft talk, man, I want to hats off to my man Sean Lee, who definitely retired. Did great things for the Dallas Cowboys. I thought, honestly, after seeing what he did last year, he looked pretty good last year. I thought he would maybe come back 1 year, seeing that what the Dallas Cowboys are putting together with the defense and the offense and everything like that. I think that he did deserve to get that ring, but he decided to take a step back, and I'm okay with it. I think he put in a lot of good work with the Cowboys, but I don't think he's done with the Cowboys. I know today in the interview, he was asked if he's going to be coaching. He said for now he's going to take a step back, and he will adjust and probably come back. And I do believe that he'd be a good asset in the coaching role. What do you guys think? Would you like to see Sean Lee come back and coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, that's what a lot of people admire Sean Lee for, was his intelligence on the field and, his admiration for studying. We all saw back on that, all or nothing episode when the season was over and kind of closed the whole season. Sean Lee was back in the film room. So I feel like that's what a lot of people admire about Sean Lee and why they think he'll make an incredible coach. Now, to be honest with you, I'll say this, you guys know me. I kind of read into things a lot deeper. But it felt to me like Sean Lee wasn't retiring per se, that the Cowboys had a conversation with him, and then they just came to it. Because Jerry Jones said something that kind of stuck out. I was like, what? He's like, we came to a mutual agreement. I'm like, well, how do you guys come to a mutual agreement if somebody wants to retire? So I feel like what happened is the Dallas Cowboys had a conversation with Sean, like, hey, we're trying to go in different direction. Got the draft coming up. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Sean Lee kind of just read the tea leaves, as they say, and say, you know what? All right, maybe it's time for me to fully walk away. I don't think this was something that Sean Lee just decided on his own that he wanted to retire, and he's came back and told the Cowboys. So I don't think that was the case. But, be that as it may, I feel like Sean Lee will either make an incredible coach, but he'll also probably make an incredible analyst. And we saw how Tony Romo was able to kind of transition, with his expertise from the field and taking that to the booth. I feel like if I'm Sean Lee, I would try that first and get that, that analyst money first. And then if that kind of fails, then maybe transition to coaching, because, going right from playing just in the coaching, you're pretty much putting yourself right back in the fire, which I don't think Sean Lee wants to do, which you kind of alluded to in the conversation.
Yeah. Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, man, of all time to ever put on a silver and blue. It just sucked, with his injuries. But when he was on, man. He was all over the field when he was good, but it's part of the game. The injuries, it's sad to see him go without a ring the same way Witten did. A lot of talent has come through Dallas and not achieved that sixth ring. But I think Sean Lee would make a great coach. You've heard it from a lot of his teammates and coaches of how smart he is. But yeah, I think it would be a great coach. I would definitely love Sean Lee on his coaching staff here in Dallas, because the guy brings a lot of knowledge to the game.
Yeah, man, 100%. And I agree with you, man. I think Sean Lee was a huge asset to Dallas Cowboys. I think he'd still be an asset to coach up these young guys. And it's really sad that he didn't get that ring like Jason Witten. But I agree with J Tuck. Maybe going to get the analyst money would probably more beneficial to him.
Oh, yeah.
So 100%. So J Tuck, you froze there. It's all good. We got that. So with that being said, man, hats off to Sean Lee, and we appreciate what you did with the Dallas Cowboys. And
let me ask you guys a quick question, because I was going to ask this on Twitter and forgot. Do you think Sean Lee goes into the Ring of Honor?
That's a tough one, man.
Right. You know what? I think. You know what? Somebody asked me today, will he be in the Hall of Fame? I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
No,
I don't think Sean Lee makes it to the Hall of Fame.
You know why? You know why I say it? You know why I say yes to the Hall of Fame? Because of his leader quality. Like what he did with the Dallas Cowboys is huge, and even like he was always a fighter, always a team guy. Listen, let's just drop him right in here. Your guy Nick is in the building, and I'm going to repeat what I was saying. So I was saying, Nick, that I see Sean making it into the Hall of Fame because of what he did with the Dallas Cowboys and his leadership and his amount of, like he was always. It's not just about what you've done on the field. I think they see how you are a team player and what you do off the field. And I think that a lot of people respect him for that. So I do see him being inducted, but in the Ring of Honor, no. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I see it's the opposite. It might be a long stretch for Ring of Honor. Hall of Fame, I would say absolutely not. But I think maybe Ring of Honor-ish, long down the road. But yeah, I just don't see it, because even though he had a decent career to Cowboys standard, I think from the overall NFL aspect, Hall of Fame is out of the picture. Too many injuries, too many uncertainties when it comes to Sean Lee. Like a great career, but I think for the most part in Dallas, you could see the possibility, because he kind of had that relationship with Jerry and Steven. You kind of see that hard worker. He represents what we want in Dallas ultimately. But I don't see Hall of Fame at any point.
I definitely don't see him in the Hall of Fame. The Ring of Honor would be like borderline. I mean, a few years from now, but
I'm willing to put some wings on it. I'm willing to put some wings on it.
Yeah, he just hasn't put it. The injuries derailed his career, man. But like I said, when he was on, he was on. But if it wasn't for the injuries, he could have been considered a Hall of Famer. I think he would have been able to keep playing and at a high level. But again, injuries, man.
Yeah, 100%. All right, man. Sean Lee, we appreciate you, but we got to move on. So let's just jump right into it. You guys saw the Jerry Jones interview today with Sean Lee and Draft Talk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I already said a comment. J Tuck said he didn't see it that way. I think Jerry Jones hinted a defensive player. I'll start with you, Nix. What do you think Jerry Jones was kind of like hinting at today, and what did you get from the interview?
Jerry being Jerry, of course. I mean, he gave you some there. He gave you a little something there. I think maybe in a lot of ways, what they did last year and looking at the results of taking CeeDee Lamb instead of Chase maybe opened their eyes some. And he even kind of doubled down on that statement, saying, you have to be flexible, not always just look right at need. Something that, the former regime with Jason Garrett and especially Rob Marinelli, right, talk about some of these battles and who they wanted to take and what they went with. Maybe just a little change in the draft philosophy because of the head coach. And I think there's a tip to have there. I think the other thing, too, something we kind of all, when we were going through our top, building our top board, shout out to J Tuck, who just dropped his top 50 board. Check it out after you get through watching us here. How do you rank the guys that didn't play last year? Right. And Jerry gave us the line for that. It's like, hey, man, you didn't play last year. I don't know what to tell you. We'll see you when I see you. I think that's definitely something real and something tangible that we have to look at when you talk about these players that might be taken high and early if they actually did play last year or not.
Okay, we're gonna jump into that because I think, and I discussed this with Flo a second ago. I think we're gonna be surprised, man. But I'll let you know what direction I think we're going. But all right, man. Let's just get into Flo. What did you think about the interview today, and what did you get from it?
Nobody's gonna come out straight and tell you their draft plans right now, right? I mean, everybody's gonna keep bluffing. it's a bunch of smoke in the air right now. So like Jerry was saying, you know, what I got from it was like, I believe they want to stay put at 10. Right. But then again, it's Jerry. You see Pitts make it to 6 or 7, he's going to pick up that phone. You know what I mean? So they didn't give up that much. I did get from Mike McCarthy that they want a physical player that could play man. JC Horn's out there. So, I mean, you kind of got that feeling, but really, I didn't really get that much out of them today. And they're really not going to give up that much until after the draft.
Okay. All right. Jay?
What I'll say I picked up on, not really the draft talk from Jerry, because like you guys said, it's all smoke and mirrors, but he said something, well, he said a few things that kind of stuck out about, you know, trading for a player, you have to consider cap space. And he said this morning he spoke to Steven about that because he wanted to go out, give it one more go. And I was like, okay, so what did that really mean? And I think that what I read from that is that this whole Stephon Gilmore kind of idea, I think Jerry might have passed it to Steven, like, okay, so if we're able to trade and get this player, do we have the money to kind of make it work? And of course, Stephen Jones probably said, no, we ain't got no money to make it work, Dad. Go upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what Jerry Jones was kind of alluding to about that situation, possibly, to see if we do have the possibility to trade and get a player and fit him, you know, under the cap. But besides what Jerry said, man, I think that, you know, I really took a lot from Mike McCarthy. I think he really dropped the room shaker for a lot of us, because when he said, he's like, oh, you know, I really want to try to get out of zone and get into man. I want to be aggressive at the cornerback position. We said, wait a minute. Well, what did you say? Run that back. And he was like, you know, he wants to be aggressive. He wants to get guys that can kind of do it all, that checks all the boxes, but he wants to be primarily man to be able to play a match defense. And that's what he's trying to pass on to Dan Quinn. So, you know, I know the conversation's kind of been towards Surtain and Horn, which we'll probably talk about, but that kind of let me know that maybe Horn is like Mike McCarthy's pick, because he said like, oh, and I coached his dad for 10 years. It was like, you know, and so he kind of spoke highly about that. So I can see that. I feel like the war room right now is divided. I could possibly say Patrick Surtain is probably Stephen Jones and Will McClay's pick. I feel like Horn is probably Mike McCarthy's and the coaching staff's pick. And then Jerry Jones, he's on that pitch trade. So it's like, you know, that's where we're at right now. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Brian Bryce actually talked to someone about that the other day, if I'm not mistaken, about not Pitts, but Surtain is the front office guys and Horn is the coaches guys, and who they want. So, yeah, I'm excited to see, you know, if Pitts is off the board and we do get to 10, right, man, it is going to be interesting to see which quarterback comes out if they're both on the board at 10.
Right.
And then a lot of mocks have right now have one of those corners going to Carolina or Denver. So, and I wasn't seeing that before. You know, some mocks have JC Horn go to the Panthers now. So it's like, or the Broncos taking Surtain. So it's like, it's crazy right now.
Yeah, that's when it gets crazy. But I think like what Stephen Jones says, if you pretty much stay at 10, you're gonna get a quality guy. And we've been saying that. As long as the Cowboys don't trade back and try to get cute, they really can't mess this thing up. Because let's say, for instance, the doomsday scenario has been passed around on Twitter so much, and Pitts is gone, you know, Surtain and also Horn is gone. All right, cool. Well, then Rashawn Slater falls right in our lap. We take our, you know, future all-pro left guard and tackle. I mean, get on with business. So it's like, you know, but I'm gonna ask you guys this. You know, I want to take over your show, Sid. But what do you think? No. What did Jerry Jones? And I was trying to ask this on Twitter, but when Jerry Jones says, if you take a Pitts, there's two other players that I think that's Super Bowl caliber that can get us there, and I feel like if you take a Pitts, you get a 2-for-1. Now that was the killer crossover move. I really couldn't grasp from Jerry Jones what he was trying to say. What do you mean 2-for-1?
Well, he's a level Pitts, man.
I mean, maybe he's saying I'm getting that impact wide receiver and all world tight end in one a little bit there.
There you go.
I don't have to go wide receiver when I get this wide receiver. It's like picking 2 top 10 guys with one pick. Now a second guy though. I have nothing for the second guy. But the one guy, Pitts.
I talked about Pitts. There's 2 other guys that could get us to win a Super Bowl, and I feel like if you take him, it's 2-for-1. So, maybe wide receiver was one of.
Maybe
I don't know, man. But yeah, so you know, Jerry had the microphone, lights, You know, still a show.
Yeah.
You're going to do what you do. Give us the 10 SECs to chew on. Doesn't mean something. Does it not mean nothing?
Right.
That's what he does.
So I have a question for you guys. And somebody threw this scenario at me today, and I even saw it on Twitter. And I want to ask you, what do you guys think about giving up our 10th pick, trading up Amari Cooper to get Pitts?
No way. No. And you can't. And honestly, and here's even the more shorter answer: salary cap wise, you can't do it because if you don't touch his contract, you can get up his contract next year. And with the numbers sitting at right now, there's just no way they can do it. So, I mean, I won't say there's no way, but they would have to get very creative when they don't want to eat up future cap to be able to do that. So, man, there's no way. Not when you can just give up 75 to go to 7 and get him. So why would you give it to Amari Cooper and weaken what you're trying to add to this attack?
Right. If he's
I'm thinking Atlanta. I was just thinking Atlanta to get him at 4, right? Because why
would Atlanta want Amari Cooper?
They got Calvin Ridley. Well,
yeah,
true.
Yeah, I don't see it
unless the rumors are true that they're going to trade Julio Jones.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's another thing.
But you can just stick. But you can just stick right there for them. Just take Jamar Chase, then and not have to worry about it and trade and go get anybody.
That's it.
So
and so we really just need Atlanta.
So you don't think that Amari Cooper or Gallup is on a trading block?
No,
I don't.
0.
None of them.
No,
0.
Dak loves Gallup, man. They got a great chemistry, so I don't think he'd want to let his receiver go.
But don't get it twisted for if somebody picked up the phone and called them about, and the only one you can probably get is Gallup.
Right.
They would listen, but as far as actively on the market and trying to shop him to move him, no way.
Yeah. I because I feel like if Pitts is off the board, I mean, out of reach, then the Cowboys are going to want to run this offense back with Dak Prescott. They're not going to limit him by getting rid of Michael.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. People are coming with scenarios, and I'm seeing it all over Twitter, and I'm just like, you know what? It's interesting to see to what length would we go to? What length would Jerry go to getting Pitts? I hope Steven and them are going to be like, hello, no, take the phone away. This is not happening.
I would say, I would say if he gets to 7, Jerry's ears are going to perk up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
4 and all that. Yeah, I said the picture. But if he gets to 7 or 8, I think Jerry's going to be like, hey, bro. Like, just 2 spaces, and rightfully so. I mean, so, we shall see. So.
What do you think, if he slides to 7 or 8, what is Jerry going to, what do you think we're going to have to give up to get him? Realistically,
number 75 gets you the draft capital to go to 7.
Right.
Then that's your first third round pick by the chart. So your first and third gets you there. Right. Now, are they willing to just take that or whatnot? I mean, we don't know. But a first and a third via the chart, what would take for us to get to 7?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Looking Crazy says for 15 and Gilmore, I'd trade 10 with the Patriots, but how much would the contract cost us max?
I want the young guy instead, though.
Jackson. That's what was posed on Twitter. Like, if we're going to go for it, we're going to go for Jackson and get the younger guy. But I was saying, bro, if you can get Stephon Gilmore, I mean, just get him. Because my scenario was, all right, boom, the Cowboys trade 10 to 15. The Patriots jump up, they get their quarterback at 10. We're sitting at 15. And we have Stephon Gilmore. Now we could take maybe a JOK or a Parsons if he slides perfectly fine. Loop back around in the second, get a corner. So you have JOK. Let's say another corner, Santi Samuel Jr. in the second, and then you have Stephon Gilmore. But of course, Cowboys fans are like, talk the cap space. We're gonna have to sign him. Well, he's going to have to earn a contract technically because he has to come out and ball out for 1 year. So if he comes out and balls out for 1 year, they will negotiate next summer. But I would be all for it. But now, and if you're able to get Jackson, you might have to give up a little bit more due to the youth. But if Gilmore's on the plate, man, I'm all for it because I feel like even if you take a corner at 10, we're still going to need an outside corner, which Knicks is probably going to owe you here, John. In about 2 days.
Oh yeah. True. With Gilmore, bro, remember Gilmore 2 seasons ago was the best one, top 2 corner in the league. All pro. So look, I wouldn't mind making that trade. But again, it would depend on that contract. What we have to do with that contract. But I mean, I would do it. I would give it the 10, get that 15 and get Gilmore, man. I would take Gilmore on my team, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the only concern when it comes to Gilmore is, well, was last year just an anomaly?
Right.
That he had an off year, or is it the forecoming of him being on the wrong side of 30, and this is just where he's at the rest of his career?
Well, I mean, the Patriots,
and that's why. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Next. I was gonna say the Patriots. I mean, the whole team was like,
right.
The whole defense. A bunch of guys opted out.
They had a lot of guys. Yeah, they had a lot of guys gone. But if you do it, this is why I say you throw the trade charts and different things kind of out of the way when it comes to quarterbacks, though. And what I'm saying is, you want to come from 15 to 10 for a quarterback, it's going to cost you more than just a cornerback. Mm-hmm. It's your quarterback. So, I mean, obviously, I would love to get 46 out of them. Maybe not realistic. But you're going to throw me maybe a second next year or a third this year. I'm going to need something else on the back end, especially if it's Gilmore, not the younger kid, which, I mean, they're up against the one. Got to pay both of these guys come next year. Either way, they got the second round tender.
Yeah.
All right, on JC. So, but yeah, for me, I'm not mad at the deal with you guys, because you get that inside help. And look, I wouldn't say you wouldn't double dip there right at 15 at cornerback.
Right.
Mm.
If a Surtain or a Horn happens to be there at 15 and you already got the boy, I mean, if you had one of those two guys and you add Gilmore to the mix,
that'd be crazy.
All up out of here, we run.
We run.
Yeah, definitely no fly zone. We do that.
Yeah,
right. So again, definitely gives a lot of options. And something we talked about before, Chuck, on some of our draft shows that we've done, is that, man, when you get away from 10 and you get down to that 15, 16, 20, boy, you look around like, look at all these defensive options all of a sudden.
A lot more attractive.
Jock is still sitting there, right? He's supposed to be 15, 20. Yeah,
man,
good players out here.
Yeah, 100%. So, guys, I'm thinking on another. I've been sitting here and I've been watching tape and I've been seeing what people are saying, and I'm going to throw a wrench in here. I think people are sleeping on Parsons. Now, I watched tape on Parsons. If Parsons would have played, and SoFlo, I agree with what you said earlier off camera, if Parsons would have played this year, he would definitely be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I don't think it was so much what we need to see him do on the field this year as much as was, can he handle the lights? Has he matured enough? Has he gotten to that point? And, one of the things, I've said before is, well, they don't talk a whole about Parsons to Dallas. Maybe that's the okie doke that they're trying to do. It's one of those things where I'm not going to hate the pick, but for my top 50 board, he's not on my top 50 board because I think there's too many red flags. And I just didn't get to see anything from him to show me that, I've matured. Those things are behind me, no interviews really and stuff like that. So for me, that's why I would be on Parsons. But, there are many people out there as you're talking to those that really love the kid on what he does on the field, though. So you're not wrong from that aspect. But it's just that off the field stuff that's going to be interesting to see where he falls.
That I think that's the issue. That's one of the major issues that I see. But I wouldn't be mad at that decision. I've seen what I've seen, and there's a lot of talk out there. Like everybody's saying that Jerry's throwing smoke screens, and he is, because he's not telling us what he's going for and who he's looking at. And Jerry Jones is always the type of guy that sometimes you just don't know, right? So would Parsons be a bad addition to the Dallas Cowboys over Horn or Surtain?
Nah, I mean, honestly, I dropped the video that kind of caused chaos the other day, but I believe that Parsons would help more efficiently than Surtain or Horn would. But I think it goes back to what Nick said, and I think, and I said this, I feel like a lot of Cowboys fans just have PTSD when it comes to Jalen Smith, is why we're kind of out on Parsons, because can we really trust Parsons with the keys to the kingdom? I really don't. And then granted, I know a lot of the issues that he had, he was a lot younger or whatnot. Okay, it's perfectly fine. But playing in Dallas, be the number 10 pick, all the lights, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Parsons go to Detroit and be phenomenal. He's going to probably wreck the league in Detroit. But in Dallas, it's a lot different, man, because you have that spotlight. Everybody's watching you, asking questions, your every move. I just don't feel like he's someone I could trust at that position. But if we're talking about talent alone and what they bring to the Cowboys, then yeah, absolutely. I feel like he has the most potential to be a true game wrecker of any defensive player in this draft, especially, above the corners. So,
yeah.
What do you think, SoFlo?
Parsons is one of my favorite players coming into this draft. I mean, the guy's an athletic freak.
Why is that?
Guy's an athletic freak. He can run sideline to sideline, and would it surprise me if we took him? No, it wouldn't. One of our biggest weaknesses is run defense, and he could help out in that. And like Tuck said, he would make a more immediate impact than a corner right now. So would it surprise me? No. Would I like him on the Cowboys? Yeah, of course. But again, how will he deal with the off the field issues and then playing in Dallas and all that stuff comes into the picture? So I'm sure the Cowboys have done their research, but it could happen. He could be
Chinese kitty.
He could be the pick, man. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
And Kenny, and the other thing too is how's he going to act when he's not getting on the field because they're going to want Jalen and LVE on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's and to me that's why I kind of got to the point where I don't think the Cowboys are going to take a linebacker high because they want Dan Quinn to fix what we have in house now.
Right.
But Parsons is a talent though, could be there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we'll address the linebackers later, but I don't think that he would be the pick. I feel like it would really have to get crazy, like real doomsday, type for them to consider Parsons. But the one knock on him is that he's not an on ball. I mean, he's not a middle linebacker. He's more going to be like a Sam linebacker as well, because I don't think he has it up here to be a mental. So you're kind of limited. You're limited to middle capacity. You're limited in coverage. You know what I'm saying? I just, that doesn't say top 10 worthy to me. Like, I would rather maybe get a Nick Bolton or a JOK, someone I really trust that can possibly play 3 downs at the NFL level versus Parsons. But there's no slight to him. I just think as far as Dallas, he's not the fit. But if I'm going to go defense, then, if I was one of these defense wins championships and we got to, be like the Bucks and all that, then I would probably have Parsons high on my list. But for some reason, a lot of Cowboys fans are out on him.
So, Jay, you would take Jock over Parsons?
For the Dallas Cowboys, yes. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because I can trust him. I know that he's going to be a workhorse. He can come in. The spotlight's not going to get to him. Even tossing out the stuff he did when a kid for Parsons, like even watching his pro day, interview, I was like, bro, he's like a kid still. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just laughing and joking and getting, so it's like. We just can't have that. We already have it with Jalen Smith sometimes where he's just not fully locked in. Yeah. We really can't have that with Parsons to run that risk at the 10 spot. So
gotcha.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate. I think the Dallas Cowboys, if they did decide to go in that direction, that they would have people mentoring him to make sure that the limelight, the lights, the social media and everything like that would not become an issue for him to get himself in trouble off field.
There's no way you can control it, man. You are who you are. Like, it just is. I mean, all these kids get the same lecture, but they find themselves getting into issues, man. Like
Zeke,
Chinese kitties,
Chinese kitty, man, just out there, just stupid stuff like that. And it's like when you're the Dallas Cowboy, you're spotlighted. I can imagine Micah Parsons getting drafted on draft night, wearing his Dallas Cowboys hat to the club. I'm on pins and needles already. I'm just already uneasy about that.
You're gonna have to give him a curfew and
right,
exactly. No, I totally agree.
Not at 10.
Okay, so draft day 2 days away. Big. Everybody says pick number 4 is where the draft is gonna get a little bit interesting. You guys agree? I guess everybody can agree to that.
Yeah.
First 3 picks are for sure quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
If Fields go to Atlanta at 4, it's going to be a show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If Fields goes to the Falcons at 4, the rest of the draft is going to be a show because the Dolphins might even go offensive lineman now.
Yeah, they're already talking about that. But again, Mac Jones is the key to Pitts getting the 10 for the Cowboys. I kind of always said that. If Mac Jones goes 3, I think unequivocally Pitts makes it to 10 to the Cowboys, and then we'll see if they take you.
That'd be it. 2 days and Joseph Collins says Pitts at 7. We draft Pitts at 7.
It's what it is. I'm okay with that.
Let's go. Sign me up.
I'm good.
I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Everybody's be like, we're good. Let's get it done. We want Pitts. Do you think that Jerry Jones is sold on Pitts only, or do you think Mike and Steven? I know you guys said it earlier, but if Pitts falls at 7, do you think they'll all agree and say, yes, let's get him?
Yeah, I think they all will. I think as Mike McCarthy said, they've ran their laps, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a situation they all played out, and they probably discussed that instantly. That's probably one of the first things they discuss. Like, okay, so what happens if this happens? Do we take him? And I think the Cowboys could be all aboard because I think that they see what he can bring to this offense, and he can be one of the cornerstones to his offensive piece for many years to come. And like we've been saying since January, the step off from the elite talent offensively to defensively is a drastic fall. So,
huge, bro.
Even take Pitts out the board, like Slater to Surtain Jr. is a fall you could break your damn neck. Like, so I think the Cowboys are considering offense, first get one of these elite talents, but if something kind of wonky happens, then they'll consider defense. But we'll see. But if Pitts is there, I don't see us passing on Pitts at this point. I just don't see it.
It's definitely going to be an interesting draft.
I'll storm Frisco if they do.
It's going to be an interesting draft. I had Cowboys fan 1980 on the show the other day, and he says there's a lot of candy in the draft this year. There's even to our pick, there's so many good players that we can choose from.
Yeah. Offensively, it's stacked, man. The receivers are it's crazy. It's going to be a great receiving class.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if we went receiver either. We did last year, CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yep.
So I wouldn't be upset if we went receiver as well this year, but I'm just curious to see how things going to fall, man. I'm excited. I don't think anybody's going to sleep that day or the night before. I know you guys got a big show. Guys, again, all their information is in the description box below. I will add BJ Nix's channel afterwards. He just jumped on tonight, and I appreciate you being here. Guys, you guys are going live on Thursday, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing a big show. Definitely go check them out. It's going to be a draft party. I won't be there. I got something else on my plate as well, but definitely go and check them out. It's going to be exciting, man. Everybody's going to have different opinions. And please, for those of you who are joining the show late, go support Flo Cowboys. He's at 90 subscribers. We need to get him to 100. Please go subscribe to his channel. Help him get to that 100 mark. And he's going to be doing a lot of stuff after the draft as well. And we're going to definitely have him on the show more often. So let's just jump into the next question, guys. Draft is done. We're going to jump into draft is done. Camp starts. I'm curious to know who we going after the draft. We need a corner. We need a good corner. I said it earlier, and I've said it on multiple shows. I'd like to see Richard Sherman come to the Dallas Cowboys. Tell me what would you guys think that we need to fill? If let's say we get Pitts or Surtain or Horn, let's just say we get one of those three guys. What do we need to fill afterwards? BJ, I want your.
Yeah, I think it obviously depends what we get out of the draft. But let's say the draft didn't go our way, on a couple of different positions. Maybe you go get you another big body one tech. Maybe you didn't land that one tech in the draft that you really wanted to. And then maybe linebacker. Maybe you look for a little linebacker depth coming out of on this side of the draft. I'm starting to like my God Sucks idea about the double dip at corner. So I don't know if I'm going to bias going a veteran corner now. But yeah, I think defensive line and linebacker is what maybe you're going to look to add to get to the full 90 once we get out of the draft.
Okay. So Flo, what do you think?
Yeah, everything's going to dictate on what we do with that 10th pick. Because if we get a corner, I mean, I don't see us going after Sherman or Hayward. I mean, we'll have J. Lou, Anthony Brown, and Diggs, and then we'll have that other corner in there. So yeah, I don't think we'll go after another corner in free agency, but we could definitely use, like Nick said, we could use another big body defensive tackle, like our weakness, our run stop. Definitely another linebacker. We've definitely got issues there with Sean Lee retiring, and then Van Der Esch's issues. But and then Jalen, we don't know what's he gonna look in this new scheme. So yeah, we could definitely use some defense after the draft. But we've got 10 picks to play with, man. So a lot's gonna dictate on what we do with those 10 picks. And what holes we fill.
Okay, what about a QB? Don't you think we need to go get a vet QB to back up that?
I think they'll draft one later on. I think they'll grab one later on in the rounds.
Well, that question was asked today, and according to Mike McCarthy, I mean, it's going to be in-house competition for what we currently have. I think I think Garrett Gilbert would probably get the nod to be the backup quarterback. And then maybe Nucci Maine, or maybe they take someone late round to battle with Nucci Maine. But I think as far as the backup position, I think Garrett Gilbert will probably get the nod to be the backup.
Double G will be good enough to back up Dak. I like what I saw from him last year. I did.
He played good. He played good in that Pitt game. Played decent.
Yeah. So I think that's enough.
Okay.
I think that's more than enough. I don't think they'll spend too much resources on a quarterback. There's a few guys in the later rounds you might can take, Mr. Irrelevant kind of stuff, but I think for the most part, Garrett Gilbert to be, No, the
only reason why I'm asking is because we don't have guys. Please, anybody have wood near them? Knock on wood, BJ, because I'm about to say something that I don't want to happen. The reason why I'm asking that is because let's just say Dak gets injured again. We don't have a veteran QB to take. At least we had Dalton. I mean, I didn't like what I saw from Dalton in the end. In the last game, pissed me off. But, I feel like we need that veteran backup. So that's why I was saying it'd be nice for us to go after a QB.
The only thing about that is, man, in this league, if you lose your starting quarterback, you're just probably going to be out of it. Right. Now I understand getting a veteran QB in case it's a small injury. You got to get somebody to carry over the hump for 4 games. Got to maybe at least get you 2 wins in those 4. But from the overall perspective, if that goes down again and misses the entire year, it's not gonna matter who we have back there, bro. There's nobody available on the face of this earth we could go get that can help us.
Right. And I feel like what really happened last year. The reason why things kind of spiraled downward is because not only was Dak hurt, everybody was pretty much hurt as far as the offensive line.
Oh yeah.
Even if we had Garrett Gilbert and you give me a healthy Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Zach Martin in there with the offensive line, I feel like he's more than enough to make things and keep things afloat, if it's just temporary. So I don't think the Cowboys are going to make that move. I think, you add a backup quarterback in Andy Dalton and you give him no offensive line and no defense, like there's really nothing he can really do. So yeah, I would be, perfectly fine with Garrett Gilbert.
Guys, please, if something happens to Dak, don't come back screaming at me, okay?
Right. I think they add a quarterback in the draft, but later rounds. That's what I think.
You think so? You think we're gonna get somebody later on?
Yeah.
Okay. So Flo, I want you to chime in and I want you to discuss. By the way, were you in the doghouse for a while?
Oh yeah, I was on this couch in here for about 2 nights.
Because I saw that interview and I was dying, man. I'm like, this guy's definitely sleeping in the dog.
Yeah, she's in love with Sertan, so I'm like, all right.
Okay.
get him out of here.
If you didn't see that interview, guys, definitely go watch it. It's very entertaining, and it's nice to see that your wife is definitely not a Pitts fan. I was on the Pitts train. I got to tell you guys, I'm off the Pitts train. I'm sorry. I apologize. Because I'm thinking realistically that he will not be there. In my mind, Pitts will not be at 7 or 10. I'll be very surprised. I think Atlanta is going to be drafting Pitts. You heard it. I'm telling you. That's the most logical thing for Atlanta to do, because they reason.
It's not though. But
okay.
I think Cowboys fans, we're calling Atlanta's bluff though. All right, you say you have the courage to have the highest drafted tight end in NFL history. Are you really going to do it? And I mean, granted, I don't want to play with fire, but I don't think they will. I think just like Nixon and Jonathan said, if Justin Fields, a quarterback from Ohio State, who's from Atlanta, he grew up in the area, he's right there. You're going to pass up on your future quarterback because you might not get this opportunity for quite some time to draft another weapon when you already have, wide or tight end in house, in Hurst, and you also have, Julio Jones, and you have Ridley, and you have Gage. So you already have weapons. You're going to pass on that quarterback.
Okay, but wait. You're saying that Atlanta has weapons. They only have 2 weapons: Julio Jones and Ridley. Right? No. So why would
they got Hayden Hurst out there playing tight end, right?
Yeah, they had Hayden Hurst. And then what's his name? Gage, the third wide receiver, carved us up. So it's like, yeah, they have 3 weapons. I mean,
you can't look at it on a game that they did from last year because they carved us up. Atlanta's
secondary. Atlanta's offense. Atlanta is pretty much us. right? They have explosive offense, explosive wide receivers. They don't have the running back, but they have enough offensively. They just struggle defensively, just like us. The only reason that we're not Atlanta right now picking fourth is because that watermelon kick, like it is been reversed. So it's like that's what the difference. But it's like you think about that, is like Atlanta, offensively, they really don't have that many struggles. I mean, they just probably need a running back, which they can always get later, but they're loaded offensively. That's why I've been trying to ask on Twitter. So why is it so okay for them to take Pitts and pass on defense? But if we do it, because their passing defense was ranked damn near worse than ours last year, but it's okay for them to take a tight end at 4, but we can't take one at 10. So I'm gonna call Atlanta's bluff. Yeah, I'm gonna call Atlanta's bluff and tell them to do it.
I will bet everyone on here right now live. I will bet all you guys wings that Atlanta doesn't pass up on Pitts.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
I'll take it too. I got Atlanta taking Fields. I got Atlanta taking Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Matty Ice is 35 years old, man.
Right.
I mean, Fields
why would we pass up? If we're not going to pass up on Pitts, why would Atlanta pass up on Pitts, guys? Logically speaking, I'm asking.
Because their quarterback is 35 years old and he's at the end of his career. And you have a brand new coach, and typically brand new coaches, their insurance policy is getting their own QB. Plus, like I said, Justin Fields is homegrown from Atlanta. He would probably be one of the biggest uprising stars. If you add him to the Falcons, it all makes sense for them. It really does.
Guys, in the chat, please chime in. Let me know. Do you guys think Atlanta is going to be picking up?
And if the rumor is true
for us, than it does for Atlanta.
And if the rumor is true about them wanting to trade Julio, which I think is insane, Chase will be sitting there.
Right.
So I mean, yeah.
Right.
All right. Listen, we got a special guest dropping in the building. We got the Lunatic. What's up, the Lunatic, man? Please chime in. I know you chimed in because the discussion is happening. Let me know what you think, man.
Buenas noches, Cowboys Nation. How are you? The kings of the round table here. I appreciate the content. Always great points. Yes, I would love Kyle Pitts. And remember, Atlanta's owner also is saying he wants a quarterback. So that's another interesting curve there. So I need Kyle Shanahan to tell who's the GM, Lynch, hey, my quarterback is Mac Jones. That's why I'm taking him here at 3, and let's go. The draft starts at 3.
Yeah,
sure,
exactly, bro. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Mac Jones. Mac Jones in San Francisco means Pitts pulling in to Dallas, baby.
Yeah. Mac Jones.
All right, the Lunatic. I have a question for you as well. Who would you like to see come to Dallas at 10? Who would your pick be if Pitts is gone?
Are my corners there? Because there's a possibility. I mean, rumors have it Carolina's falling in love with Horn.
Yep.
So if my corners are gone, I'm taking Slater because I don't really see anybody. New England, if San Francisco goes with Fields, I can see Lance going somewhere before 10. New England can just sit back and say, Mac Jones, heck, J-Tuck, you don't even have Mac Jones in your top 50 earlier in the show. So they can just sit back.
I need to pump him up some. I probably need to pump Mac Jones.
Well, yeah, we need to put him up there around 8.
Damn, Jay, you didn't have the man in your top 50.
Nah, I ain't got him.
We need to entice New England. We need to get something for Chicago moving up. So New England might just sit there and say, hey, we'll take Mac Jones. If he doesn't fall to us, we'll take JOK. We're fine either way. So we need something to drop. But if Pitts is not there, the corners are not there, then give me Slater. I'm fine with Slater. Let's start with the offensive line. And I know what Professor O was saying. Go back to the Great Wall. You don't need to build it the way they did build it back then. But today's college lineman is not the same as 25 years ago. That's why teams reach for linemen sometimes, because the quality is just not there. It's all pass blocking, because that's what the college game has evolved into. So give me Slater, 77. Like I want 11 games, but I'm not going to bet on it. If you say, hey, this, they're going to cut something off your body if he plays 11 games or more. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. So I'm fine with Slater.
Okay, that's an interesting point on it. The Lunatic, thanks for jumping in, man. Always appreciate you supporting all of us. You know, you're here, and thanks again, man. We really appreciate it.
Listen, I appreciate all the insight at number 10, but rounds 2 through 4, that is the meat of the defensive talent in this draft. Yes, that's when the fun part. We can get great cornerback, decent starting quarterback. We can fill in our linebacker, defensive tackle. Heck, draft Molden and move him to free safety, as Quinn did with Kazee in Atlanta. So there are options there. Don't worry about going offensive pick at 10. The meat of the draft is in those middle rounds. We can still fix our defense. I mean, it's not going to be Tampa Bay or Baltimore Ravens number 1 defense, but it's enough to get us to where we want to go. I appreciate everybody. Can't wait for Thursday night. It'll be exciting. So go Cowboys.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Man. Yeah, man. Appreciate you jumping on the Lunatic, man. Always dropping that knowledge as well. Listen, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting drafts in my opinion, I don't think the draft has been this exciting for a long time. What do you guys think?
Yeah, there's a little bit of an era of you just don't know what's going to happen, right? With this draft, because you had the opt-out guys, they didn't have the combine, the other traditional things that we go through. So there's a little bit of different mystique to this one, because you really can't be surprised by anything. You got to be open for everything, right? I mean, when we started this process, no matter what anyone thinks about Mac Jones, nobody was thinking about him going to 3, let alone a team trade all the way up to 3. Who would have thought Philly would have said, I'll trade behind the Cowboys and the Giants? Only to maybe talk about maybe trading back up. So we're having all these things. I think we're going to see one more team trade to the top 10, guys. What about y'all?
Yeah, I think that's what this draft is really. I mean, I wouldn't say it's excitement. It's just the elements of surprise going on right now. There's a lot of unknown, because at the end of the day, we have hearsay, cliche, but it's like, what are the 49ers really thinking at 3? Like, is it really Mac Jones? You know what I'm saying? And all it's going to take is for one of these teams to do something crazy early that throw this complete thing off. Think about it. If the Falcons do take Jamar Chase, then things are going to unravel like quickly. Like, okay, what are we doing? All right. So it's like, I think that's why there's a lot of excitement coming in, for Thursday night, because especially from a Cowboys perspective, I mean, granted, we do need to address the defense, but we have so many different opportunities that can fall in our lap. It's like, what do you go? Like last year, it was like, whatever happens. Maybe it's a Clavion chasing, maybe a Del Pitt or something like that. Then, here we go. CeeDee Lamb actually failed to us. And it's like, I think that we're kind of spoiled off of last year, but I mean, now we're a lot closer for that to actually happen. So, we'll see.
I hate to say it, and please, BJ, I apologize, but I'm saying I'm off the pitch train, but there's a chance that he might fall to us at 10.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cowboys Twitter will go nuclear. It won't be because he went before us. If Pitts is on the board and we trade out or we trade someone else, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
Twitter, Facebook, it's going to completely melt down if Pitts is at 10 and the Cowboys pass on it.
Right. Yeah. The thing with this year's draft being at 10, there's so many choices out there at 10 this year. Like if we were probably in the top 5 this year, we would probably be like, okay, we have a definite, but being at 10, there's going to be so many choices there, especially what happens in front of us. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a fun night, man. Just so many things, so many scenarios that could happen that are going to dictate our pick at 10 before us.
Because I don't think even last year's draft had the top 10.
No, like you said, we were just sitting there. It was a chase on, or we were just sitting there, just whatever happens comes next. But at being at 10 this year, the options are it's crazy.
We're in the mix, baby.
We're in there. We're in the middle.
It was like a Penny Sewell could be like a consolation prize, or
there it is. That's what I'm saying.
Or Jamar Chase could be a or
we can't go wrong. Even Waddle, even with Waddle sitting there,
as long as it's not a defensive end, we win.
Right.
Rasu can go somewhere, right? But yeah, being at 10, man, we got so many choices.
That's what I'm saying. The draft. The talent out there this year is crazy.
And like Lunatic said, man, the beef of the defense, right, is 2 through 4. It's stacked. I mean, safeties, corners, defensive linemen. You know, my boy Marvin Wilson's out there from FSU.
Right. Like
Samuel's out there.
And I'll double down on it. The biggest impact to our defense will be drafted on day 2, not day 1.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
I disagree. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But no one's gonna listen to me. No one's gonna listen to me. they think that, you know, if we don't do defense at team, we're doomed. Like,
throw the draft away. Yeah, throw it all away.
Yeah.
I think Waddle winds up an Eagle.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we got Pitts, whatever.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what?
Y'all got that. Oh, cool. I see y'all got y'all guy.
You know,
all right over here.
So big shout out to
Cowboys fan talk.
Cowboy fan talk, man. I invited him on, but he's taking care of his girls, so you know he's got to do the daddy thing. He goes, "How does everyone have 9 players being gone with 3 QBs going 1, 2, 3, but only 6 slots before Dallas picks? We can't lose. That's 12 players."
Yep, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might as well say there's gonna be 4 quarterbacks in that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's your biggest prop bet for the draft, guys. Y'all ready? Here's your biggest prop bet for the draft. In the first round, 5.5 quarterbacks. Taking the over, the under.
Oof.
I'd roll the dice to take the over. Maybe Trask.
We said top 10?
No,
first round.
First round. First round. Yeah,
yeah.
I
thought you said top. Oh no, I was like,
no.
First round.
Our first round. The prop bet is 5.5 quarterbacks. Can we get one more guy up the board? Is what?
I think Washington would be that guy. They say, you know what, Kyle
take Trask.
Yeah, like, you know what, right.
But if you want that prop bet, it's up there in Vegas. Go for it. And then shoot your shot.
I gotta check that out.
Pitts is 5.5. So
Jay knows how I get down with my gambling, man. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I know. All right, I won big last year on CD, so I'm lowering up the dice.
Let's go.
So Cowboy fan that responds. He says, "I agree with 4 QBs being gone and maybe 5, but Mac Jones going as 3 is key."
San Fran.
Yeah. Jones. And Lance, right? Anything to get Fields to 4.
Yes.
Fields, wherever they pick, as long as it's not Fields and Fields is at 4, then boom. Yeah, that's definitely the key right there. Jones and Lance. I don't leave Lance out of that either because he's also part of that as well.
Right.
So you guys think if San Fran picks a QB, there's a good chance that things are going to fall in our favor.
That's most definitely
not just a QB though, because it can't be Justin Fields. Stuff like if they do Justin Fields,
Atlanta's not going to go Mac Jones.
They're going to mess things up.
Right.
So it has to be Mac Jones or Trey Lance at 3 in order for this to work. And I feel like if Justin Fields gets in front of Atlanta, it would be hard. I just don't see how Atlanta could do it. They're either going to trade out of it or they're going to take Justin Fields. And so I feel like that's the case. But if Justin Fields goes 3, then
keep an eye on Chase. Keep an eye on Chase at Atlanta too, with the Julio Jones rumors going on too.
Yeah, I would say Atlanta goes Fields, and then you have 5 is
there's Chase.
There's Chase.
Sewell now because Miami's
lost their lineman.
They're moving the line.
Flowers. Yep.
And then this hop on the phone.
It's open. It's open. It can happen.
Yeah.
Detroit. Yeah, so
there's a real possibility there with 3 and 4. Whatever happens there, Pitts can fall to us, man. It's a real possibility.
That's it. If he gets within range, 7.
You got to make that call. You got to make that call with Detroit to make. Yeah, you got to call Detroit and see what they want.
Because I think Detroit is high on Parsons. I think that's their guy, and so I think that part they could trade back. Maybe get an extra 3rd or not. We take 7. We get that loaded gun. We just get out of here.
There we go.
Oh man, I can imagine on Thursday night. There's been a trade. The Dallas Cowboys.
Don't do it to me right now, man. You get me too excited. You put me down on Thursday, man.
Yeah, Jerry said, "Look, I drafted Greg Ellis once to pass on Randy Moss. I'm not going to do it a second time."
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess not doing that, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Hell no.
I'm just I don't know about you guys, but I didn't sleep last night. I don't think I'm gonna sleep tonight. Definitely not gonna sleep tomorrow night. The draft has me stressed out. You guys have me stressed out. Every time I watch you guys, I'm like, man, can these guys stop?
People are like, oh, all we got. What do you want people want us to talk about? Like, because here in a second, it's going to die down. Where it's going to be no football news.
Yeah,
we'll be sitting on these cameras looking stupid. So
Sitting
enjoy
here
all
looking
this.
dumb.
Well, Cowboys haven't made no moves this
Just
week.
keep reviewing. Just keep reviewing the draft picks.
Yeah, you're like, oh well, we just heard he just did 10 reps. 10 reps is what they're doing right now. Yeah.
Right.
What do we think? Is 10 reps enough, guys? No way.
Right.
Nobody be doing like
We'll just be looking at YouTube. We'll just be looking at YouTube videos of the draft picks and their highlights.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys? Okay, so Pitts, Nix, what do you have to drink if Pitts falls on us? Do you guys have all your drinks already lined up for Thursday night?
Well, I went streaking for CD. I can't do that again. I was told I couldn't do
You
that
streaked?
Again. I streaked for CD and I put down the board. I was told by the cops, don't do that next year. So that's out. So I don't know what I'll do if we get Pitts.
Man.
I think I might just send me a couple little shots or something. I'll try to not tear up my living room on the way out my front door, stripping off clothes like I did last year.
Oh wait, this is a joke, right? Did you really streak?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Only BJ, man. I love you, bro. I can't wait to meet you in person, man. Jay, what you got lined up to drink, man? If we get Pitts.
We already know, man. So we're rocking it out, man. Or according to Nixie, might White Claw. You know, I
mean, you got the White Claws in the basement now.
White Claws. That's what my girl Stephanie Small.
Yeah, we might get our White Claw on the draft with our pinky out. Pinky out for Pitts.
Bud Light hit that Bud Light seltzer or something.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. But,
this is
man. If we draft Pitts, man, I'm gonna get my Twitter followers are gonna just dive down, man. They're gonna be so pissed off at me.
I hope nobody that I'm working with is looking right now, but I took off Friday because of that.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to ask you.
I'm off Friday too. Yeah,
I took that day off.
Nobody's working, eh? I'm not working Thursday, Friday.
No way. If Pitts goes to Dallas, man, it's a party.
Oh yeah. I might just fly to Dallas, man. It's like a 40-minute flight from my house into Dallas, man. I might just meet y'all in Frisco, man.
Welcome Pitts signs. Fly back.
Is anybody going down to Dallas to celebrate for anything?
No, man. No. I mean, I might catch a game this year, just depending on how things are working out and everything. But yeah, not for during the draft though. No, we'll be locked and loaded with the draft coverage, man. You already know.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, Cowboy fan tag, Marcus Mark cast strength if we get hits.
Baker's Mark slept on heavily.
Oh man, they gonna hate us that night, bro.
That night they're gonna hate us for a week, Tuck. They're gonna hate us for
they're gonna hate us by hitting that pro shop up though. Man.
Yeah,
I can't believe this. But
Matt Owen says if Pitts goes to Dallas, I touch his train shoes.
That's a good point, man. Oh yeah, that's straight cash.
Get me a couple t-shirts.
That's gonna be straight money, man. Guys, BJ, take over a little bit, man. Drop a little bit of the knowledge from your perspective, from what you saw today and what you see for the future for the Dallas Cowboys, please. Before we tune out.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. We're at the finish line. The work. As we talked about this past week, the pencils are down. It's in pen now. It's over. It's set. And now you go to this thing with your plan. And you try to execute it. Is what you want from the Cowboys. You want them to make sure that they have a plan. They're not panicking or overreaching, and let the draft come to them in ways they need to, and be aggressive when they need to. And you want to come out of here. I think we've all talked about this before. You need 3 starters this draft. And you have the meat of the draft to do that in. And if you're able to do that and come through the other side with some good depth, you're going to feel better about the Cowboys going forward than what you do right now.
100%. Jay?
Yeah, I agree exactly what Nick said. And I think Stephen Jones, through all his boring speech today, he kind of mentioned that you find, a lot of your value in the first 2 rounds. And so I think that they know how much they have as far as leverage and draft capital. So possibly being able to move up and maneuver and maybe get back in the first 2. And I think the Cowboys know, since they sit on their hands during free agency, how important this draft is. I feel like if we bomb this draft on Thursday, y'all, it's going to get spooky, especially, defensively. So
yeah.
I think the Cowboys know what they're up against. They know what they have. As Nick says, and Will McClay we trust. And so I'm going to trust the process. I feel like whoever the Cowboys bring in, it'll actually make sense for the most part. So yeah, I'm looking forward for Thursday, and I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to put on an amazing draft. Hopefully, knock on wood, get some caliber players, load them back up with Dak Prescott and his offense, and we're going to get things rolling for this 2021 season.
Preach it, Tuck. Preach it to the people in the back.
All aboard. All aboard.
So Flo?
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping Pitt slides to us at 10. That's like my dream scenario. But my second player is Horn, man. And I feel like the reason Cowboys, when Cheeto left, they didn't address that position is because they really teed in on one of these two corners here in the draft. So I believe the pick is going to be corner. Which one it is, they're split. The front office and the coaching staff is split. I love JC Horn because he's an aggressive corner, big, physical. I like the way he plays. So that would be my pick, and I would be happy with Horn coming to Dallas. So yeah, one of those two picks, and like Jay Tuck said, the draft is stacked on day 2. There's so many defensive players, man, safeties, corners, linebackers, defensive tackles. There's players all over the board. So I mean, we really, really, really can't bomb this, especially with Dak in his contract now. The window is shrinking. Zeke's not getting any younger, so let's get this defense right. And let's go get this thing.
No, I totally agree with you, man. The Dallas Cowboys have no reason to mess up at a 10th pick. If Pitts doesn't fall to us, and I don't think he will, I apologize, guys. I would definitely go Horn, but I wouldn't be mad at Parsons either. There's a lot of talent out there. It's crazy. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't remember any draft in the last few years having this much talent.
Well, you haven't been picking top 10. There's that too. Placement means a lot, about what kind of prospects you're looking at, when you're picking. So being a little bit higher, we don't want to be up here all the time. It definitely feels different.
Yeah.
100%, man. Okay, guys, before I let you guys go, please chime in with any final thoughts with what you guys see, what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Could be draft, could be players, could be Jay Tuck. You talked about Sean Lee, not retiring. BJ, before I let you go, what do you think about that? Because Jay Tuck said something earlier that made a lot of sense. Do you think this retirement was actually fully willing?
Who knows, right? I thought it was very odd for them to come out a couple of days before the draft and do it. Jason Wynn kind of did this a couple of years ago as well too, right. and that might have been a little bit more forced than maybe it was. So yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit awkward. And sometimes you got to look at the player and say, look, we know your mind's saying yes, but my God, let's look at the medical report, right? It's just it's a little bit of the situation. Maybe the Cowboys are protecting the player from himself and want to try to go back out there and play some more. Sometimes you just have to do that for what's best.
Ab ripped from his
yes.
God,
yeah.
Man, I ain't
Sean Lee was done, man. Sean Lee was done.
Yeah.
Did you say his ab was what? Sorry,
his ab was ripped from his torso or something like that. That's
okay, yeah. But it seemed like which I didn't know this. I didn't know that he came out of college with an injury. Yeah. When he got drafted. See,
at Penn State, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. So that means he's been injury prone from day 1.
Kind of like Van Der Esch, kind of.
And I was just gonna say that
they love these boys.
Sean Lee out, and you're telling them that you're concerned about. I'd be right. Van Der Esch will be right behind him, in my opinion.
Yeah, 50-year option due by Monday, so we'll see.
Not happening. Not happening.
Oh no, I don't think so. Van Der Esch will. You guys think Van Der Esch will be with us next year?
I think it depends on the great Dan Quinn and he's able to repair what's been wrong with the linebackers.
Right.
I think that's just what it boils down to, and I think the Cowboys are willing to see it through. That's why they didn't sign a KJ Wright. So we'll see, man.
Okay, LVE. You think he's going to be 100% healthy through the whole season?
His injury's scary, man. That neck stuff is nothing to play with, bro.
I said that last year. I said, there's no way this guy's coming back 100%. A neck injury is no...
He keeps going down with that neck and those stingers, man. I don't know. I hope all the best for the guy. He was one of my favorite players. His when he came out rookie season, he was all over the field. But again, those injuries and that neck stuff is concerning.
Well, And the lunatic says no 5th-year option. Steven almost could not keep a straight
he was
answer.
dancing.
Yeah.
He was going. I mean, we're going to. I mean, wait.
All around the answer, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Guys, before I let you guys go, I appreciate you guys being on the show like always. We can go all night. We got to do another 6-hour stream. We got to maybe if we sign Pitts. You know, maybe we sign Pitts.
We go into the early morning on that.
Yeah, definitely, man. This I get Pitts.
I will definitely jump on if you guys end up doing a 6-hour stream. I have no work the next day. I'm down. So before I let everybody go, please, we'll start with you, SoFlo. Let them know where to find you. Guys, like I said before, help SoFlo get to 100 subscribers. He's at 90, so we got to get him to that 100, and then that way he could continue growing from that point. So SoFlo, please let them know where to find you.
Yeah, you guys can follow us at Flo Cowboys on every social media platform. Help us out. We need 10 more subscribers to get to 100 on YouTube. So go and check us out. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys.
And don't forget to check out that video of him getting, chewed up by his wife. So definitely, Jay Tuck, please let them know where to find you, man. Jay, I don't know how you do it. How many videos do you do a day? Because I'm seeing like 2 or 3 now.
Gotta grind, man.
He's grinding, man. So, yeah. Definitely go follow him and see.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, of course, at JTuck151, and also on my Cowboys Fans Only YouTube channel. I appreciate all the support. Just drop my top 50 board for the draft. It is what it is. Pencils down. I think me, Spoon, Nix, and Mariella tomorrow night going to do a mock draft from the Cowboys lenses.
Put a stamp on it.
Finalized, put a stamp on it. And then I'm going to get the whole Thanos set where I can just sit back and relax and see what happens. So definitely tune into that. And also our live draft party on Thursday night is going to be fun. Giveaways, prizes, guests, all sorts of chaos, man, especially if we draft Kyle Pitts, man. And then also CowboysFansOnly.com. Get your CFO merch, man. I appreciate all the support. Sid, I appreciate you. My guy Jonathan, my guy Nix, all of you guys in the chat, man. I appreciate all the support, man, for y'all rocking with me through this draft season and keeping things lit and live. So here we are.
100%, man. BJ.
Just like my guy over here just said, man, come through for the draft party. We're going to have a good time. We put our stamp on the final mock. It is what it is, and we're walking away. We stand by that there. So that's going to be pretty good. Man, you come find us over here, me, Spoonie, Mariella over here, Jay Tuck as well. Y'all be on the show, so you already know what it is. Star Gang Podcast is the YouTube channel. Then on Facebook, it's just Star Game. We got a group in the page. Come jump in the group. Go like the page. And then find me on Twitter, man, as it says on the screen, your_guy_Nix. Draft time, baby. Like you said, sit back like Thanos.
Yeah.
Let me watch it play out.
I was like, yeah, man. Watch the sunset, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's your boy Sid, man. I appreciate you guys. Guys, if you don't know what my channel is, Dallas Cowboys, the #4 life. My Twitter information, Sid DC for life. Instagram, Sid DC for life. Definitely check me out tomorrow night. I got a special guest on the show. Big Game James is dropping in the building to also drop a bit of knowledge of what he thinks and how the draft will go. And maybe one of these guys will jump back on as well. Crazy stuff going on when I'm going live lately, and I appreciate all the love. Appreciate the ones around you. Because like I always say, you never know when they may be gone. Take care of yourselves.
I was going to say, Kyle Shanahan said he can't guarantee we're going to be alive come Sunday. I said, what do you know, Shanahan? Wait, what are you trying to say out here?
100%, man. Guys, take care of yourself. Everyone stay safe. It's your boy, Sid, and I'm out.
Woo, woo.